Lionel Nelson here, and welcome to A Father's Note, promoting fathers through building men. It's so important that we always stand up for our fathers. We want you to know we're with you. We're standing behind you 110%. Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to A Father's Note. I am your host, Lionel Nelson. It's a place where we promote fatherhood through building men. And as always, we're glad that you took the time out of your busy schedule to spend the evening with us. I have next to me, I'm sure y'all know this beautiful lady, my wife.
Good evening.
I think it's about 15, 16, 17. I don't know. Let her tell you how many years we've been married. It's just been so good. I don't even bother about counting. I just enjoy each and every day, day to day, week to week, month to month. I'm so grateful to God that He has blessed me with such a beautiful marriage and relationship. This young lady has truly changed my life tremendously. And
Changed mine as well.
well, of course, we're gonna do it for each other. We're definitely gonna do it for each other. Again, we just want to say good evening to all of you. Listen, let go ahead and share this video. Let others know that we're on. We're on tonight, and I think we have a very great topic. It says open discussion, but of course, we're going to be talking about men, women, and relationship. Again, I want to say hello to all of those who are watching by Facebook and those who are watching by YouTube. We certainly appreciate you. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let us know that you're here. And if you have any questions on tonight's show, you can definitely call in. If you want to call in, if something, a comment or a question, whatever, comes up, or a comment that is said that strikes your nerve, you want to chime in, hey, there's the number, 954-559-9300. We will definitely put you right on the show. We'll bring you right on the show, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to have this conversation. As a matter of fact, I'm looking forward to this. Before I go any further, you all know I have to do this. And see, where is it at? I have to do this. You want to check out this book here, okay? Diary of a Virtuous Wife. This is a book that my mother wrote. I think last year. It came out last year, and I am absolutely amazed at all of the testimonies that we hear concerning this book and how it has definitely impacted so many people. And if you bear with me, what I want to do here, I do want to, I want to read a comment. Yes, I want to read a comment from someone, a young lady who has read the book. And let me read this real quick. This is what this person said who read it. And they're basically a newlywed wife. Well, about, 2 years now?
Yes.
Going on 2 years.
Going on 3.
Going on 3 years. And this is what they had to say concerning the book after reading it. And it says that this book was amazing. Literally one of the best books I have ever read. Let me change the screen here for y'all so y'all can see me here. Yeah, sorry about that, sweetie. But anyway, it says that the transparency was the most inspiring part. Mrs. Nelson did not hold back. And that's his mother, Nelson, or my wife, my mother. As a young wife I needed to read that. She endured in spite of to keep her marriage. Her faith is to be admired. No matter what, she continued to serve and believe that God could and would turn things around. This book needs to be in every bookstore. Young wives, especially this generation, needs to read this book. This book has encouraged me to keep pressing on. I absolutely loved it. So this is what this reader had to say concerning this book, Diary of a Virtuous Wife. So if you want to purchase this book, you can Cash App my mother, and that's the Cash App number there for you. $ ROSAB 80 Rosa B 80. Okay, so go and check this book out. Check this out. I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. Okay, and she's not the only one. There are many others that we know that have came back to us, and they have shared as to how much they have really been inspired by the book. Okay. Um, if you can't reach it that way, you can always DM me and we'll get a book to you. Okay, so we ready to get into this, sweetie?
We're ready.
I'm gonna ask a question off the cuff, first of all. What do you, in your own words, we've been together for 17 years, and in your own words, what would you say uh, was very significant, or that, let me say it this way, or that you love so much about our relationship, and that was very important to our marriage, our relationship lasting for 17 years?
You really put me on the spot.
I put you on the spot. Oh, I tried not to.
Well, I would have to say it was the honesty, because coming from previous relationships, past relationships, there wasn't a lot of honesty. It was on my end, but not on the other end.
Understood.
So I really, really appreciate the honesty.
Honesty from me.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And I would say that is very important, especially with a background that I had previously. And I think it was very important that knowing that so many naysayers was really against us getting married.
Exactly.
But I was definitely convinced that you were the wife for me, and I wasn't going to allow anyone to change that. But I felt, to keep you safe, in order to protect you and your trusting in me, that I had to do those things that were very necessary in order to continue to gain your trust that, hey, listen, I love you and you're the woman that I want to be with.
Right.
So I had to be transparent. I wanted to be transparent. And I think that's so important when you are going into a relationship, that you do be honest and you do be transparent with one another. And, you got a lot of women, especially husbands and your newly husbands, you're going to have a lot of women out there. They're going to, when you're not with anybody, it just seems to be that when you're not with anyone, nobody's interested. But the minute you get with someone, man, they all come.
The woodwork. They do.
It's so true. It's so true about that. But nevertheless, though, that was good. And I think that the thing for me is that you trusted me, and you, in the process of you trusting me, you allowed me to be myself. You got to learn me for myself, not based on what
I heard,
what you heard, or other people's opinions. I believe that I think what was interesting for me was that I did feel safe around you. I did feel safe being very open, allowing you to see my flaws.
And I could say the same thing, because even with the trust, you brought up the trust. That's also important. I guess it falls right there with honesty as well. But not only did I put myself in your hands, but I also put my daughters in your hands as well. And so that trust was built basically from the very beginning of our relationship. I mean, I knew you or knew of you, but I really didn't know you until we began to spend time together.
Right. So it's been a pleasant ride. Now, listen, and again, being transparent. In all honesty, we've had our differences and we had our disagreements. But for me though, I just was not going to allow myself, because it's kind of one of the questions that you had wanted to ask tonight, and but I was not going to allow myself to fall out of love or anything, that whatever it may transpire in differences that we have with one another, I was not going to allow myself to fall out of love with you or to stop loving you. And that's one of the questions you have. You say, what causes men to fall out of love with their wives?
And I don't want it to be one way. What causes, and audience out there, if you can chime in the chat, what do you think causes men or women to fall out of love? Because I can't understand, how could you have been married 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years, and then all of a sudden, oh, I don't love you anymore? What happened? And where did that, you first start feeling those feelings? And what did you do about it? Did you talk about it? Did you address it? What is that?
That's even when I hear that, I find that to be, I'm like, how do you do that? How do you be with someone for 30 years, and then you come up and say that, I don't love you anymore?
I don't understand that.
I don't understand that either. Now, so I guess one of the questions that comes to mind is, were you ever
really
in love? Or was it infatuation? So yeah, I mean, hey, help us out, audience. What do you think are some of the reasons in the comments?
One person says love is a decision.
Love is a decision.
I choose to love
you. You know what? Let's put it this way too. Maybe you put your love into something that person did. Maybe you fell in love with a particular act of that person, but you never really love the person themselves.
Right.
And it's almost like we will love the blessings that God give us, but we don't love God well enough to want to serve him, to want to live for him.
That's good.
This comment says that there is a difference between lust and love. Okay. All right. So, hey, listen, let's get into some of the videos. I got a couple of videos here that I want to share, that we want to hop on. But not to get away, if you still have some comments as to what you feel that what causes men or husband and wives, let's put it that way, let's be specific, okay, to fall out of love, let us know in the comment what you think those comments are. But I think that maybe you never really loved them as you thought you did. Or I can tell you what can cause a man to fall out of love. Let me see. We got a comment here. This person here says, I believe people need to know or learn to love themselves before they can love anyone else. That's true. That is definitely true.
Very true.
That's very true. And that could be has a lot to do with it too. We have another one here. The other voices, grass looks greener, stop discovering. Oh, that's good. Stop discovering. That's good. Let me see. Yeah, you get in the way. Give us a bit to answer the question. You know what? Oh, listen, this comment here says that to stop playing hide and seek with other people's emotions. Keep it 100. That's true. That's true. Now, this viewer says they're not being relatable anymore, or don't share this thing. Let me see here. Well, let me see if I can put myself. I can't. I don't. I'm not. I am really. See how I can fall out of love with you. You know something? Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna piggyback on some of my past relationships, past marriages. Okay. The difference here with my wife here is that, and some of the videos that we're gonna play tonight are gonna speak to that. One of the things that my wife never did, my wife never put me down. She loved me for who I was.
Never disrespected.
Never disrespected me. Never. Well, there was one time, and I let her know.
Excuse me.
Yeah, ain't no excuse me. But you know, we got an understanding. We got it. We battled through it, and you know, we got through it, and we got an understanding. We got an understanding, and like I said, we've had our differences, but I think that what is yeah. Now, okay, you want me to respond now, but okay, so this viewer says it's easy to walk away, but it's not easy to fall out of love, I believe. If it's real love, they always come back. And that's true. Mm-hmm. That's true. But I think the reason that most men may leave, because again, which is another one of your questions here, is because they feel disrespected, or they're not getting the respect, or they're being dishonored. And another thing, I'm telling you now, I know me, I'm one of them. I would not want to be living in a house with a nagging woman. That would just absolutely just drive me crazy as a man. You got to say.
And do you think I want to live a nagging husband?
Well, I'm not a nagging husband. Are you saying I'm a nagging husband? Yes or no? Because if I am, then I need to check myself then, if that's the case. So how do we survive then? How do we survive? Huh?
We survive.
We survive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So anyway, okay, look. All right. So I'm going to play a video here. And it what this video is about, right? Y'all working it tonight with these comments. Y'all working tonight. I am not studying you, Miss Carville. So respect, trust, honesty, love are necessary ingredients for a successful marriage. Absolutely. Absolutely. And no condemnation. You know, you can't throw names. How as a husband, what I look like disrespecting my wife with words that I know would hurt her, or with comments that I know would offend her, then how can I say that I love, but I get upset if another man do it to her? No, bro, you're a hypocrite. I would be a hypocrite if that was the case. So, you know, I'm not going to do anything that would not intentionally, let me say, that would hurt my wife, even though I know it can happen. There are some things that we can say or do that can or will offend one another.
Right.
You know, and it can happen. But when you realize that, you know, when my wife says, you know, you did this to me, you know what the first thing I say? I apologize. I didn't realize. I apologize. You know, I didn't mean to do that. Or I give an explanation as to why I did that. Right?
You do. But
okay. Now, man, that just canceled the I do. You got a butt with it? Come on.
Nah, you do. You do.
All right. Okay. Be fair with me now. Be fair with me. You know, but the comment, you heard us say as well, babe, that women think that are looking for a relationship. It feels like it's no good men out here. Okay. Right?
That's the narrative.
That's the narrative, right? Okay, so but let me play this video and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, okay?
I have a question. Where are our kings at?
Don't worry, fellas, I got this. They're at work right now, saving so they can get their passport together so that they can go ahead and get a wife that's foreign who has traditional values.
Oh, He said they getting their passport so they can get a foreign wife. What do you have to say to that, Bay?
He wants to go get a foreign wife. So now, let me tell you, I've seen this happen plenty of times. Okay, so they go to other countries, they come back with a foreign wife. The wife gets over here, and she's exposed to a whole new world, whole new possibilities. And guess what she end up doing? Leaving him, going to this other guy, this other Joe Blow. Okay.
I guess somebody from where they country, huh?
Yeah. See, they only used him to get over here.
Oh, that's what it is.
That's what they did.
That's what they
used him to get over here.
All right. Okay, let's finish this.
They're at work right now, saving for retirement for one, because they don't want to take the chance of marrying a woman who can take half of their. You've canceled them. You've silenced them, because either you was spouting a feminist narrative that doesn't allow men to be men, or you were silent while your sisters did and you didn't check that. They're effeminate because they were raised by single mothers and denied contact with their fathers.
Let's start right there. We got to talk about that. What do you say to that?
Well, you go ahead with that one.
No, I want to hear your boy because he's talking about ladies.
I never stopped my children's father from seeing
But
them.
is that, well, would you agree to what he's saying, that that's a trend?
Yes, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I hear it almost every day at work. I hear it. So I agree with
what kind of comments do you hear though? If you can expound.
They're calling the police or calling for assistance because the woman would not allow them to see their child, even though they have
custody, joint custody.
Yes.
Okay.
And so they're calling for assistance. And one gentleman, I really felt for him, right? Because he said, "Oh, it's my fault." He admitted it was his fault because he says, "I give her everything that she wants. I give her, she wants money. I give her money. She wants a car. I gave her a car. She wants this, whatever she wants."
You're talking about the father giving to
the mother.
To the mother.
But she's living her best life and leaving the children looking raggedy.
See, I went through that too. So I agree.
You have a caller?
Well, call back in, caller. Okay, there they go. Let's see. Yes, caller.
Hey, y'all.
Hey. What do you have to say?
You got the wrong person calling it. It is I.
Yeah, come on, I.
So listen, what happens when, so we're, there are women that are told that we should baby, our husbands and treat them, all these types of ways as if we would do our male sons, and that men are not capable of doing this and they're not capable of doing that. And I beg to differ. Men are capable of doing a lot of things if they are allowed to be their full selves in front of the woman that they're with. So oftentimes I think that men leave because they're not allowed to just be who they really are and able to express themselves to the woman that they're with, not being what is the word that I'm looking for? Not shunned down or not put down for the things that they don't know, but to help build them up in the areas that they may lack and vice versa. So, they can go and get all these other different types of women, but then they'll realize, oh my God, I didn't want a mother. I really want a wife. How can I get this woman to do the things that I need her to do? But you're asking for something that you're really not going to get. You're asking for a mother. Am I making sense? Because you're on this show looking confused. I'm watching you.
No, you got
his wheels are turning.
You have my mind. I hear what you're saying, But I think at this state, because when you really look at it, and I'm going to say here, I am in high school on an assignment recently, and I'm looking at the young men in this school, and if I don't see that softness in their walk, in their conversation, in their when they talk,
the gestures,
it just drives me batty. I'm like, how? And then we're wondering why, to his point, why we have men who are not interested in women, or we have men who do not know how to be in a relationship. We have men who are just dysfunctioned by the time they reach adult age. And I think he's right. He is absolutely right in what he's saying, because the saying is that I don't need a man. I can be your husband and your father. I could be your mama and your daddy. That's nonsense. No, you can't, because look at the results of what we're experiencing right now. Man, we're seeing our young men twitching harder.
Yes.
Interjecting for more femininity. Did I say that right?
No.
Okay, well, anyway, say it for me, then I keep going. Femininity. And more than women. More than these young women are. And then we are wondering why there is such a lack. And I'm not going to even mention the part, well, that's another subject, the abortion side to it. But no, we have allowed men to be moved out of place. And I'm going to say, when I say we, I'm talking about we as men, we as fathers, we as husbands. No, we need to speak up. And I had made it my business myself that no matter what, if I'm given an opportunity, I am going to speak into the lives of these young men. And I'm not saying in the point where I'm going to belittle them, come at them. No, just say a word of wisdom that would have them to think about their identity. You are absolutely right, Ms. Dumerville. I would have them to think, listen, bro, you are a man. You are not a woman. And these certain antics here, leave that for the ladies to do. They got that all around.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. My last question is what makes it so difficult? I hear some of what you're saying, but what makes it so difficult for a man to push past the things that are hard? Let me explain. My son said something the other day. We were skating, and there were other men that were there, and my son said, women are like a chessboard. He said, when they become hard, you just cheat on them. I said, whoa. All the men said, whoa. Where'd you get this from? He said, TikTok. He said, but it was just a joke. But if that is imprinted in his head, when things get tough, yeah, look, my same son that says he wants to date a girl, I'm like, no, I think now we need to restart to recalibrate some things. But when when things are too hard, or if they see a woman that is too hard, or a woman has to, be tough because she's been made to be tough. Those are barriers that some men have to be able to see through, just like your wife had to push through your barriers. We have to push through you guys' barriers and understand and this, that, and the other. But why is it, and I'm going to leave because I see you getting ready to say something. Why is it that when a woman has to stand up and be tough and be stern and what she is, when a black woman is too loud, she's too much. When she's doing it, it's always too much for a man. Why is it that you would rather take the easier road than to push past those barriers? I've been married now 16 years. I had a lot of barriers that were up because I had to have them to protect myself. But my husband was able to see past those things, and he fought for our relationship. Now it's smooth sailing. I'm like easy as, easy like Sunday morning. But it took him a minute to say, you know what, I'm going to push, and God, I need you to help me with this woman that you made. And I'm going to go ahead and get off, and I'm going to just listen. I'm going to listen and type and through my text fingers.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for that. I say the reason that you got a lot of women that does this because of learned behavior.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say, babe?
I would agree.
Because you didn't do that though.
No.
And you raised 3 daughters. You were raising 3 daughters by yourself.
Yes, really 4 because I had
Well,
my little
you had your
sister
sister,
as
right?
well.
So you didn't have, and that was something that when we came together that we did not have. That's not something that I had to contend with.
No, yeah,
I didn't have to contend with her. One of the most important things were to make sure that I respected you. That was as a woman, as my wife. Mm-hmm. And if I said or did something that she felt was disrespectful or whatever, she would let me know. She would let me know. And then guess what? I, as her husband, and she as my wife, I'm not going to do that again. So I think that in order to sum that up, we really just have to get to a place where we have to listen to one another. But if you have mothers that feel that they have to be hard, that's a choice that they make. It's not, I don't believe it's a choice that they have to follow or what they heard other women do. You know how you have some women, them cliques, they'll talk a woman up. Mm-hmm. They don't have nobody, so they miserable. They don't have anybody, so they want you to be miserable as well.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You ain't got nothing else to say?
No.
Okay, let me finish this one here. Let's finish this.
We could address some of the comments.
Okay, we got one viewer here says that a lot of these women don't like the word submissive in this culture. You know what?
That's true.
I think it's because they don't understand what that word means,
exactly.
Correct? How would you define submissive? I'm putting you on the spot.
You are.
I'm putting you on. Okay, I ain't gonna put you on the spot there. Okay, let's go back to here. Just think about it. Okay, so now allow men to be their authentic selves. They are flawed just like women. We just need to heal, get delivered, and learn how to love God first. Then He would teach us how to love. That is so true. We'll be, if I touch on that comment, there we'll be here all night. So let's go back to the video. Let's finish the video. We almost done with it.
They're effeminate because you socialize them in school to act like women instead of to be men. They're effeminate because you...
Didn't I just say that? They act just like that in school.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
You taught them everything about their masculinity was toxic. You've turned them into women or disenfranchised them.
Turn them into women. Is that the reason why we don't have enough men to go around today? I don't know if I said that right, but anyway. All right, let's go to another video. Let me see what you got to say on that. See, we got some new comments here. Let me see here. Yeah, go ahead and call in. If you want to call in, let me put this number back up here. Let me put this number back up. You want to call into the show, 954-559-9300. Friends, go ahead and leave your comments, share. Let everybody know we're here. Let's play this other next video here. Okay. Let me ask you, are men necessary?
Of course.
Oh.
Okay to be a man.
It's not okay. It's necessary. What the hell are we going to do without men around the city here? You see all these buildings go up. These men, they're doing impossible things. They're under the streets, working on the sewers. They're up on the power lines in the storms and the rain. They're keeping this impossible infrastructure functioning. This thing that works in a miraculous manner. They work themselves to death, and often literally. And the gratitude for that is sorely lacking, especially among the people who should be most grateful, failing to understand entirely that there's a massive infrastructure of unbelievably hardworking, solidly laboring, working class men breaking themselves in half on a regular basis, making sure that everything that always breaks works. And so a little gratitude for that is in order.
That's something to think about. But yet still, the narrative is men are toxic. Men are no good. Mm-hmm. Men are this. They deadbeats. But look at all the other stuff that, can you imagine women doing the work that we do?
No. Listen, I know how to stay in my lane. I need my man. Listen. I need my man.
You need your man?
Yes, sir.
All right. You said a lot of good things. I think that's one of the most important things, what I get out of that. Listen, give us gratitude for what we do.
Exactly.
Give us gratitude for what we do.
Exactly.
And I mean, give us the respect. And then you want to, is it possible that we got women that the reason they don't have them, I ain't gonna say all, I'm not this is not a blanket comment. This is not to everybody. But the narrative is so strong though that men are no good. But yet still, guess what? None of us would be here.
Well, they say that because they have been hurt numerous of times over and over again by a man. And that's why they end up saying that. The men are cheat. That's one of my questions. Why do men cheat? If you have a good wife at home, she's, taking care of the home. She's taking care of you. She's taking care of the children. Your bills are paid. If she's doing all of these things, what makes you go outside of your marriage? What does that? And that's another thing I was saying, that the women have to be careful, because we know the enemy is tricky now. He's tricky and he's cunning, but they have to be careful. If you spend 16 hours a day at work, and then you come up, you get involved with this narrative, and then you begin to tell this man those pillow talks you had with your husband, start telling him those things. Guess what? Now this man become inquisitive, right? He wants to know, okay, so if your husband is not doing this, or if he's not doing that, then maybe that's an area that I can come in and I can show you, and I can, shower you with those things. It was Valentine's Day. Oh, my husband ain't give me no roses. So what does this work husband do? He goes and he sends you roses. So you got to be careful, ladies. You have to be careful about the things you share.
So do you agree that a wife should have a work husband?
No, sir. I got one husband, okay? Well, I got two. And that's the father, and that's this one. And I can't handle more. I can't handle any more. You get your conversations mixed up. You get, what I said this to him, and I said, no.
So should a husband have a work wife?
No. Let me hear you. Okay. Y'all, don't take me out of character, sir. Do not take me out of character, please. Yeah, drop that mic. I wish I would. Listen, I had to check my own self. There was a time when I was doing a lot of work. I was working a lot of overtime, and my husband had to go to the Jamaican place to get a meal. And the lady at the Jamaican restaurant said, "Oh, you in here again? This your third?" I had to do something. I didn't want the lady to think my husband was available, that I wasn't cooking for my husband. Listen.
Hey, let's look at these comments here. We got a comment here. I'm gonna come back though. But this one here says one of our biggest problems is that both men and women are hurting and both need to seek healing. That is so true. And I think that that's the issue with a lot of them, especially with a lot of them. I think that one of the most key things that a lot of our men and women are dealing with is they're dealing with learned behavior. They have been exposed to learned behavior, and they were never really taught how or allowed to learn how to actually heal properly and correct. What do you say to that?
Before getting into another relationship.
We have, there's a such thing as what they call rebound relationships, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yep. Let me play another video. Now, this one here, ladies. I don't know. Y'all, I want y'all to listen to this one here, because this young lady really has something to say.
Ooh, some of y'all women gonna get mad at me today. So if you can't take constructive criticism, baby, keep on scrolling. Many of you women are not really what you think you're cracked up to be. Like, some of y'all are really not great people to be in relationships with. Y'all.
Whoa. Let's let that marinate a little bit right there. She said that some of you are not great people to be in a relationship with. Let me let that sit there. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
I work with couples every single day, and I'm gonna go ahead and make a list of everything that I have to work through. First things first, quit coming into relationships trying to make a man serious. If you lack confidence, if you have low self-esteem, if there's still trauma that you're operating in, if you're self-critical, if you're judgmental when it comes to yourself, if you blame yourself, if you're still operating in guilt and trauma and everything else, baby, that's for you to handle, not him.
True. That's true. When you get into a relationship, before you even go into a relationship, you first have to make sure that you are whole. You have to be healed and whole, made whole. Don't go in thinking that this man is going to fix you. No, fix yourself, sisters. Fix yourself. And the same for the brothers.
True. True.
Respect his space. Like, stop becoming so preoccupied and hyper aware of what a man has going on. As soon as you see his mood is off a little bit, you start becoming overwhelming. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Let me tell you how men are. A lot of men, when they are going through stuff, they may end up withdrawing or retreating because they're trying to figure it out. They're not always upset at you. Their moods are not changing just because of you. People go through things in a way that men are. They don't express themselves as much as we do as women.
Now, well, what she said is true.
That's
because
true.
there are times I come home and I have that something on my mind or something that, and you'll look at me, you say, well, you all right, baby? I'll say, yeah, I just got something on my mind. And I think what helps though with that is that it's important that we communicate. Hey, we don't feel like talking. We just don't feel like talking.
Exactly.
Say it, but say it in a nice way. You don't have to be
mean about it.
And also the wife, and what she's saying is that your wife, you got to be understanding. There are times when he just needs his space. You know, that's why I was so blessed when I was able to get my own man cave, because other than that, I'll be out in the backyard in the car or whatever. Just, you know, we need that time, that moment to ourselves in order to get our head right. And it has nothing to do with you. You got him come back?
No, I'm good. I've learned that about you. I could tell when you're thinking, and you have to think things through, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. As long as I know that, hey, there's nothing wrong with you. No one offended you. No one hurt your feelings and none of that kind of stuff. Yeah. Okay. I know.
All right. Let's go. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all.
It's okay. Give that man some space. Oh, yeah. The clinginess. Clinginess is cute to an extent, baby, but once you become codependent and you're always getting jealous whenever this person goes out, and you become anxious whenever they're not around you, you start blowing up their phones so they gonna hang out with their friends, that is problematic, and you're gonna push them away. As much as many of you all don't want to believe it, it's absolutely okay for a man to admire another woman, as long as it is a quick look, boom, and he's not staring, and he doesn't have a wandering eye, and he's not impulsive, and he's not a cheater. If he's all of those, baby, why are you with him in the first place? You're ignoring the red flags. You're settling.
She said it. If he's all those things, then why are you with him in the first place? Come on.
So you're okay with looking but not staring?
I'm good with that. I mean, you see something that look good. That's it. That's the same as if I see a nice picture. If I see a picture, I'm gonna admire that picture.
No, just say it. If you see a nice man, you're gonna admire that man.
Oh, I will. I'll make a comment. That happened to me maybe like a month ago at work. There was a young man, I had been seeing him around the station, and I think he's like one of the jump out boys. And jump out men. Okay. And I just happened. We were in the just wanted to said, well, my wife says so as well. I said,
see, he is a smart man.
Listen, I said, I'm not flirting with you. I'm not flirting. I said, because I'm married. I'm happily married. But I'm just saying, you're a nice looking young man. He said, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, hey, that's my comeback too. When I get a compliment, I tell them, I say, yeah, my wife tells me that all the time. You know, and that keeps, if there is any wolves in sheep clothing, that keeps them at bay. At least it should, you know.
Exactly.
But you're okay, because the reason I'm bringing this up, because this happens. You know, and some man, you know, they see a nice woman and they ride along, they're scared. They know they want to look, but they're scared to look. Oh, I mean, I comment all the time, especially when, you know, when you're watching movies and things like that. I'll comment and relay, you know, that's just a nice, a pretty woman or whatever. You know, we do that. Because, you know, I am so confident. Miss Carvel, stop. Hey, but I'm confident. I'm not worrying about my relationship with my wife. I am not worried about it.
I'm not worried either.
We're not worrying about our relationship. We're confident in our relationship. Because guess what? If you suspect something, then the most likely you're going to end up getting exactly. If you go looking for it, then most times the way as cunning as the enemy is, you're going to find what you're looking for. Then you're going to be hurt. Then you're going to wish you had never looked. Let's continue with this. You want anything?
I'm good.
Okay.
As long as that man is not window shopping or ordering off of the menu, relax. He has a visual appetite. If he sees a beautiful woman, it's okay to admire. Just like if you see a handsome man, you're going to admire him too. Relax. Stop letting yourself go. Just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that you need to stop doing everything that you did in the beginning. If you always kept your skin together, your nails together, your lashes together, your hair done, your body was waxed up at the beginning, keep that same energy. Hold your end of the relationship. Remember, visual. A man still has a visual appetite and he loves what he sees, baby, because you're going to stimulate a whole lot more of him. Don't let yourself go because you secured the relationship.
Now, that's a big pet peeve for me.
That's a great point, really.
Yeah, because
and it applies on both sides.
On both sides. Whatever it took for you to get that man, you just can't just go in retirement once you get him and you don't been in a relationship for 10, 20 years or 30 years. Is there a possibility, going back to your first question, why do men leave? Why do they fall out of love? Mm-hmm. Could there be a possibility that's the reason why? You done stop doing. Let me say it this way. You done stop doing those things that show me that you love yourself.
Right. I agree.
You got it. Hey,
listen, I always keep it together. At least I like to think so.
You do, babe.
I always keep it together.
You do.
Hair done. Hersheyberg. Okay. Put that plug in. Hersheyberg. Yes, sir. Nails. Mm-hmm. Always.
And I'm telling y'all right now, my wife had the most prettiest feet. Oh my God.
And legs.
And legs. I talk about her legs all the time. That joke is sexy, man.
All right, sir.
Okay, all right. Calm down. Yeah. Let's see. Oh Lord. Okay. We got a visual appetite too. Don't let things go limp. And we're trying to reach our peak. Some men think they are satisfying a woman, and they really aren't. Women leave mentally also, but before they leave physically. Wow. Okay. All right. That's pretty good comment. No, it's not a foot fetish, but hey, she got some sexy legs, man. I'm just going to give it like it is. All right, let's finish her up. Yeah.
You want to believe it, you're not always right. As much as you want to always be in control, you have to let some things go, baby. You cannot love a man the way you want to love him. If you study him, if you pay attention, if you actually listen, I guarantee you he will tell you how to love him. You cannot limit the way you love him to a love language. That's why I hate the conversation of love languages. You can ask a man, what's your favorite love language? And he can say, oh, acts of service. And you think that's all you have to do to love him? No, baby, you got to study your man. Stop nagging him all the time. It's perfect. Okay, quit always expressing your dissatisfactions. If you see he's putting in efforts in other places, please uplift those efforts. Acknowledge him. Show that you appreciate that. If it's something like a pet peeve, baby, compromise. I know a lot of women have a hard time compromising. Baby, you got to find a middle ground. Sometimes it's just not worth you bringing up a dissatisfaction. A lot of you all just be nagging. You're pushing that man away. It's okay. He's not always going to fit your idea. He's not always going to satisfy you in every area. Baby, I promise you, every trait that you may have on your beautiful checkoff list, he may not measure up to every single one of them. That's why you have to be selective. But stop nagging all the time.
What do you say to that?
Well, I'm not a nagger, so.
But why? Okay, so then my question to you then, why is it that you choose not to be a nagger? I'm sure that's something you've chosen, right?
Correct.
And so then why is it that you made that choice not to be a person who nags?
Because I don't want it being done to me. So I don't give it out. I'm not a nagger. I'll ask you to do something, right? Mm-hmm. And I might have to remind you. Normally, you jump right on it because you're that type of person. Hey, somebody asks you for something or asks you to do something, boom, you're on it. But when you have a lot on your plate, there may be a time when I have to remind you. And that's okay.
Yeah, you know.
But now, if it comes to a third time, I'm just gonna go do it myself.
And then I get upset about it.
And yes, you do. So I'm not a nagger. I've never been. That's just not my makeup.
Let's get through here because we're gonna have to end the show because we're coming up on an hour.
But can we ask a question?
Yeah, just hold on. Let's finish the
Okay.
let's finish the video.
All right.
And I'm like, these comments, y'all coming with these comments. Let me finish the video, then we come with the comments, and then we'll ask a question. Okay.
Read minds and you can't predict the future. So stop trying to interpret things and stop trying to jump to conclusions. Baby, it's not healthy. It's a distorted way of thinking and it will kill your relationship. Being independent is okay, but why do you have to be so independent that you're unreceptive? Men love to be needed. If you're so independent that you won't even allow him to help, what is he there for? Stop involving everybody in your relationship. I don't care if it's friends or family. They have no place to be in your relationship. So stop involving them. Their opinions do not matter. Their advice does not matter. They are not the person that you were sleeping with. Relax. You think you're doing something when you're comparing your man to everybody else. You're comparing your man to your best friend's husband, yada, yada, yada. And now he's pretending to be something that he's not. That's very uncomfortable for a man. Baby, constructive criticism and destructive criticism are real things. If you're always criticizing, you're going to push him away and he's going to end up faking things and that's going to make him unhappy and then the intimacy is going to decline. And whose fault is that going to be?
I think that answers some of your questions. I think we would agree. Now listen to me though. Because this is going back to what we're talking about when she makes the comment, you need to keep yourself up, women.
Mm-hmm.
I think that men, you should keep yourself up as well.
Mm-hmm.
With age, things change.
Right.
But I don't think that I do time or anyone going to see me jacked up. I'm going to keep myself groomed because how I look at it,
see, that was instilled in you. Every man, that's not their story. I can recall the last time I went to when my daughter was in the hospital and I went to pick up breakfast for her at the Waffle House. And I was just sitting there waiting for my number to be called. And I'm just watching the men that's going in and out. Some, you can tell they were on their way to work. They were dressed very pristine, nice looking. Then you have others that are wearing sweats, slides, and a t-shirt, looking like they just rolled out of bed, literally. No. Yes, you're running to Waffle House to pick up your order, but make yourself look presentable. Make yourself look decent. Throw on a polo and some jeans and go get your food.
I can't see. I'm always skeptical about who would see me in public. So do I get casual at times? Yes, I do. But I'm going to be very selective. Even when I'm going to work, I have to keep myself groomed. I polish my shoes. Whether or not I'm doing construction or whatever, I'm polishing my shoes. I'm going to have... I'm ironing my uniform, whether I'm at work, whether I'm at going. I have to be on point because how I look at it, not only am I representing myself, but I'm representing my wife. I'm representing her. So if someone knows that I'm married to her, I don't want them to see me and I'm looking busted and disgusted. Just like you saying these ladies who was at the Waffle House. Oh man, look at how her husband dressed. No. And guess what? The same thing for my wife. I tell my, hey, babe, look good, look your best. I don't care. If I got whatever it is I need to do to make sure you're on point, to tell me because I'd be willing to do it. Okay. Y'all, listen, we're gonna have to, what we'll do, y'all saying so much. I'm not going to even finish up this video, though I want to. You guys have so many great questions here. Let me acknowledge this. Let me acknowledge some of these questions here. These comments, should I say? I'm sorry, questions, comments. But when men really do not understand who they are in Christ and understand their God-given purpose, how could we successfully lead our family the way God instructed us to lead them? Marriage is a continual process of growth. And he is absolutely right. But that comment right there does require another show.
Mm-hmm.
It really does require another show, because this is one of the things that that we have made wrong. But I'm gonna throw this out there, and then we'll come back in another time and clean this up. But one of the biggest mistakes that when he talks about knowing our purpose in God, knowing who we are as men, I'm gonna tell you where we all have made the mistake right at the beginning. And it's not do come into Christ that helps us to know identity, is that when we call our sons, when we call our young men, when we refer to them as boys. When we refer to them as boys, I'm here to tell you, I'm here to encourage you, not to tell you, but to encourage you. Stop referring to your sons as boys. Stop referring to your young men, your teenage as boys. Stop referring to your baby as a boy. He is either a male child or a son, but that's for another subject. I do have a video out on there. I encourage you all to go check it out and look at it. But when we call or refer to our male men and our men as boys, we are stripping them of their identity. Because when you really search out the word boy and have a clear understanding of what the word boy means, and created to be a king.
Yes.
I'm going to stop right there. That's a whole nother conversation. Let me get some of these other comics. Let me see. Carvel says that I agree with this a little. This sounds like we have to baby a man, but sometimes women don't want to hear that foolishness either. Sometimes we want exactly what men want without all the extra, but let me say this. Let me respond to this way. This comment this way.
Man.
Say it again.
I don't baby my
man. But yet still I get those things from you.
Yes.
My wife gives me all of those things. All the things that she had mentioned, we haven't even finished yet. But my wife gives all of those things to me, and she don't baby me. I don't feel like I'm a baby.
Well, maybe when he's sick, when he passing through something, he know it.
Okay, all right. Let me see. There's another comment here. Let me see. I'm
not the Waffle House ladies.
Let's see. All right. Let me see here.
How about one of the questions?
Hold on a second. Listen, I'm trying to finish these up right here. Then we're gonna come to that. We come to that next. Then we're gonna get off of here.
Okay.
Okay. How many times was this comment being used? Learn your purpose already. Those are excuses to be mediocre. Mediocre. God tells you who you are as a man. Stop making excuses and just do it. Okay, this is my response to that is this. It would be easy if the world, if society was not speaking against it.
Right.
It would come a lot easier. Why do we have so many feminine young men today? Because society has told them that it's okay to be feminine.
That way, right.
When in actuality, listen, I know when I was coming up, then the men, and when you look at generation after generation after generation, okay, the men have, he has had to fight in order to keep the dignity in which he has right now. Mm-hmm. But you're telling, the father's telling the son one thing, just like the viewer made the comment, had posted the comment. I know that your son's father is telling his son the right thing. Mm-hmm. But look what he got. Look what he got off of TikTok.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But look what TikTok said concerning women.
Correct.
Let's go. What's your question, baby? Then we got to get out of here. What's your question here?
And this is something for the listening audience to chime in on. This was a question that was asked to me. It says, why do married couples stay together in a loveless marriage and date other people without telling them that they are married?
Why do married couples stay together in a loveless marriage and date other people without telling them married? Because where they at is still good. It could be because they're staying in marriage. Well, I'm here. I don't have to deal with divorce. I don't have to deal with this. I don't have to deal with
Giving
that.
up half. They say. I don't
Say it
want to
again?
give up half.
Yeah, right. They don't want to give up half. But if I can get what I want, what she's not giving me, or maybe she is giving me, then why not do it? I'm not saying I don't really know how to answer that, but that's just the only thing I can say. Because it's easy to stay married to be the woman who babies them. Oh, peace, Jesus. Let's see, what else you got here? What else you got here? Let me see. Why do married couples stay together? Okay, you already read that. Why do men express themselves? Why don't men express themselves emotionally? Because they was told not to. They was taught not to. See, that's another conversation.
How about this one?
Let me see what you got. Why do they expect a woman to take care of them? What causes the shift in roles? Because they was raised by their mama.
Ooh. Okay.
Got another one? I think we done hit all those,
We
right?
covered them all.
Why do men cheat? Learned behavior.
Okay.
Now we can go all spiritual with all of this. We could go spiritual with this. There's no question about it. But I'm just a lot of it has to do with learned behavior. Until that learned behavior is taught differently, or they were raised differently, then they're going to continue to do those things. Hey, but listen, this is what we're going to do. We had a whole lot more to go through. A whole lot more to go through. So what we'll do, I'll tell you that was Carvel. What we'll do, we'll come back. You want to do this again next week? Finish up?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna come back next week. We hope that you enjoyed it. We hope that we've said something that you got something out of the conversation tonight. Okay, we do have some more videos to show, conversations to show. So,
and if you have any questions or comments that you want us to address, any topics, I should say, DM Mr. Nelson your own topics, and we'll try to address those next week.
And we're gonna have a conversation about it. We're gonna talk about it. Hey, thank you so much. I want to just thank all the viewers. I want to thank all the viewers for your comments. Listen, the show would not be anything without you all. No question about it. We definitely are striving to set some things up to do some great things. And we got some treats coming up in the future. Definitely appreciate y'all. Hey, listen, also, go on and buy a shirt. Buy our T-shirts. I don't have one to show. Wait a minute. Let me see here. Let me see this here. Because we got to get out of here, baby. We done gone over our time. We have extended our time. Hey, listen, these nice shirts here are fathers. Fathers are toxic. These are nice, great gifts. They can make very nice gifts for you all, okay?
Fathers are essential.
I'm sorry. Thank you for the correction. See, that's why I love you so much, okay? Fathers are essential. Fathers are not toxic. They are essential, okay? DM me if you want a copy.
If you want to get a shirt.
If you want to get a shirt, okay? DM me and, hey, they're great gifts, okay? We also have them in black. We have all sizes. We also have them in white, and we have all sizes, okay? So go ahead on and check those out.
And also the AFN t-shirt.
Yeah. I don't have a picture of that one, but we do have those as well. All right. Hey, guess what? I think we are done for tonight. What do you say, sweetie?
We're done.
We're done.
Have a blessed and beautiful week, and we'll see you next Sunday.
See you next Sunday.
Good night.